everybody, it's Chelsea Gibson from Wild Rose Wellness. And last night I went to a play. It was a Girl in Fishbowl, something. It's at Theatre Northwest here in Prince George, British Columbia. And the story kind of goes is that there's this young girl, she's about almost at her 11th birthday, and she lives in this small community and just kind of lives in this fishbowl of a community and fishbowl of her house. And it's the interaction between her parents' lives and the boarders, the people who rent from them, their lives, and the interaction with this little girl. And I'll never forget the part in this play, this little girl, you know, she's sitting upside down and she's standing up on furniture and she's doing different things and she talks to people and interacts with them. And I absolutely love it because so often that is how I feel, just, you know, taller body, more like a woman's body, if you even want to call that. You know, I'm 30 years old and I get called like I'm 20 or 18 or how did I get so lucky? Anyways, so little girl, she's running around the stage and she's this 11-year-old girl and she's got ideas about philosophy and religion and spirituality, and she's trying to sort all of it through her own head. And the coolest part is she said that, you know, the difference between when you are grown up, the day that you know you're grown up, is the day when the magic stops, when the joy stops, and the curiosity stops. And that was part of this play, is that, like, she starts to realize this shift going on in her awareness, in her thinking, and she starts to mimic her parents and their despair and their depression, and is confused by that. And so she, you know, why would she go to school if it's the last day? She got the sense that it was the last day of her being a kid, and why would she spend it at school? And what's funny is, I'd love to invite people to a bunch of different possibilities, that just because you feel like you lost the magic or you feel like you lost the joy doesn't mean that you lost your childlike wonder. It is in you, and some people, they'll call it like the inner child. What if it wasn't an inner child? What if we didn't actually have to separate who we were? That it didn't have to be like, oh, this is adult Chelsea, this is inner child Chelsea, this is creative Chelsea, this is business Chelsea, this is relationship Chelsea, this is the daughter, this is, and separate myself into all those things. What if I'm all of them and I was willing in every single moment to be all of them, to be all of me, without any separation from myself, without any labels, without any, you know, dissecting? What if I would just let myself invite you to being all of me, which means all of you? So many people, they talk about chakras and dissecting it into chakras and dissecting it into points on the body, dissecting your personality, dissecting different areas of your life. You know, pie charts that say this much time should be spent on, you know, work, and then this much time should be involved in fitness. And I've done those, and if that works for you, please continue. Anything I share with you, if it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. And then just watch me make faces at you. Okay? So what I'm trying to invite you to is a different possibility where you don't have to dissect who you are and what you do and your life. What if you could just be present in every single moment? And because you were present, you would know what to do and what to do next and what would create the most for your life. And it's funny because lots of people say to me things like, oh, well, then I'd never get anything done. I'd just sit and, I don't eat ice cream all day. And it's like, okay, well, what if eating ice cream, I don't know about all day, but for a certain amount of time actually created a lot for you because you were calmed down and relaxed? So many philosophers say that they went out to a beach. One philosopher, physicist, and he was trying to figure out an equation and formula, and for years. One day he goes to the beach and goes on vacation, and that's when he gets it. He gets this awareness. And what happens is, if we can take our minds out of control and form and structure, that's when you kind of get this outside view from consciousness, from the universe, from the planet, where your brain is allowed to expand, and all of a sudden you can start receiving information from everywhere. Now, it's ridiculous because that's where I live. I actually have a difficult time going the other way. And I get people who are like, well, you need schedules, Chelsea, and where's your checklist? And it's funny because I have kind of a checklist going on in my mind, and I tried for years to force myself to do schedules and checklists, but they didn't really work for me, and a lot of times they felt even crammed for me. And if you're the same way, where schedules and checklists and everything put you into more judgment of you, because if you can't get it done, or it's not what you feel like doing in that moment. So what I find is, when I'm doing things that I'm genuinely passionate about or genuinely interested in doing, and I'm in the mood to do it, I do it fast, I do it efficient, and it turns out better than I expected, which means, guess what? I have more times for the things like dishes and laundry and all those other things. And the other thing I would invite you to then is to hire people in your life who can do the things, and they love to do the things that maybe you're not the biggest fan of, just so that they can take on that part of your life and you get to have the space. So often people have these schedules, these like plans listed out, and they're like, oh, from 12 to 1, I'm not doing anything, that's my break. And in that break, I'm going to put lunch, and I'm going to put a lunch date, and then, oh crap, now I've got 2 minutes to get to this meeting, and then I got to go for lunch, and then I go to this meeting, and then I'm going to go do this. And what we do is we fill up everything, kind of like how we fill our plates. Literally, we fill our plates, hypothetically, in our lives, a metaphor. We fill every single second so that when we get home, instead of being productive, and instead of doing things that are generative and, contribute to our lives or the world, we go home and watch TV like this. Which, I mean, go right ahead if that works for you. But the hours that we spend being unconscious because we're so busy during the day means that our entire day is never spent in space. Generative space, creative space, where you're creating your life, asking questions, having fun, laughing, doing things that genuinely make you happy. So often I have clients that say, oh, I need a glass of wine to be happy. I need that beer with my friends. And I'm not saying don't do those things. I mean, God, if you have fun and you're not hurting anybody, go do it. But what I'm inviting you to be is that space that you think you require alcohol for, that you could be that during your day, that you could be that hanging out with a friend, that you could be that videotaping a YouTube video. I don't really need booze because I'm weird anyways. So I'm inviting you to these possibilities where you can be you, not separate yourself, not separate your schedule, not separate your body, so you can be all of you. And it's funny because it sounds overwhelming for a lot of people when I ask them about this. It's not, guys. It's not. It's really easy. And honestly, I have fun with it. But what you've got to be willing to do is let go of control. I know. And for a lot of you out there, that is the biggest thing, is that you feel like you have to control. There is research after research that is saying that there is a natural flow to the universe. Bunnies. You know the saying, they screw like bunnies? So bunnies will actually stop procreating if there's an overpopulation and not enough food. See, the animals don't have schedules. Animals don't require agendas and stuff. And, oh, time to eat. No, the animal is hungry, then it goes, oh, where is the food? And what can I do to generate and create food? So do you see how present they are? And we wonder why that we're not present, because we're living in schedules and we're living in our phones and we're living in our computers to try and escape what we've created as our reality, which is a reality a lot of you guys don't like. So first, it's inviting you to be all of you. Because once you're all of you, you can kind of ask questions like, what would you like to create as your life? And what would it take to create a life that was happy and joyful so you didn't need an escape? You were there and present most of the time? Because trust me, when you give yourself the space to really enjoy what you do and love your day and love your life, the things like dishes and going to the grocery store, those things, they actually don't bug me that much. I don't mind, because so much of my day, let's say, 90% of my day is full of joy and being happy and doing what I love. That extra 10%, it goes by so fast. And now I've got a bunch of personal assistants to do some of the stuff in my business that I'm not the greatest at, and they do much faster and much more proficiently than I do. And so this video is just inviting you to be you and not to separate any parts of you. What if you didn't have to label and justify everything? You could just be all of you all the time. And then from there create your life, and then from there make decisions, and from there create your life. But you got to give yourself the space, guys. You got to give yourself 5-10 minutes a day in the beginning, work it up to an hour, work yourself into some space that is just you. Why do you think your body's throwing up? Why do you think your body's having allergies? Why do you think you have headaches? Why do you think you're depressed or anxious or nervous, or you hate your body or you hate your life? Your body's giving you information. The universe is giving you information. You yourself are trying to give you, a subconscious brain to conscious brain, trying to give yourself information, and you're just not listening because you don't have the space. So I invite you today to give yourself space and have way too much fun. Okay, guys? So much fun that it makes people jealous. And what if people did hate you because you were so much fun? What if that was okay and you'd be willing to have people judge you because you were just having so much fun it was weird to them? All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Chelsea from Wild Rose Wellness. Go to www.wildrosewellness.net. Bye.